everybody, welcome back to Harris Family Adventures. If you're new here, my name is Heather, my husband's name is Justin, and we have a 10-year-old son named Reese. Over the next year, we are going to be traveling to Mexico, Italy, and then at different parts of the United States throughout the next school year. So that's been my intro forever. That's always been our intro, that's our description. But we've added a travel destination. So we we found out this week that we are lucky enough to get to go to Branson, Missouri for a week this summer. Now, how it works is we are incredibly lucky that my parents love traveling. That's probably where I got it from. And they also love traveling with their kids and really love traveling with their grandkids. So we typically every year will go on a vacation as the whole family. So there are 9 of us, my 2 parents, the 3 of us, and then my sister, brother-in-law, and their 2 kiddos. We've gone to Branson in the past. Typically every other year we have gone to Mexico, but just with all the craziness, we haven't been to Mexico for 4 years now as a whole family. I'm hoping maybe we can get back to that next year. But yes, we are very, very lucky that this week they let us know that we have found a destination to travel to, and it is Branson. Now, I will tell you, Branson is not something that I looked forward to. We went 3 years ago, and I was kind of like, ugh. We had so much fun. So when we had started preliminarily talking about preliminarily? That's not a word. Who knows? Anyway, where to go, obviously, like, Mexico is fun. You know my love of Mexico. They had talked about maybe getting a beach house somewhere in the United States, saying domestic, but kind of some travel. And then we kind of just said, you know, what our kids like, so the 3 kiddos will be 10, 7, and 3. They like to go swimming. They like to eat snacks. You know, it doesn't need to be something fancy. So we had talked about either going to Breckenridge this summer or going to Branson, and my parents went ahead and decided on Branson. So this is the Branson packing list video. I have gotten some good response from packing lists, so we're gonna go through it. And I said to Reese, I was like, I bet I still have a Branson packing list, and I do. So I've added some things on here, just things that I think about as we are planning what to pack. It's about a 6-hour drive, so we will be driving, so we don't have to worry about airline restrictions in terms of luggage. We will be taking some food, so that is on here. And then just other things to think about, basically what our days look like. So we will do a whole Branson video about that specifically, but in terms of packing, what's important to think about is, are you going to shows? So we have gone in the past, like a magic show, a Chinese acrobat show. I know there's I haven't gone, it's a big theater, it's like live animals, so shows. Now, I find most indoor places in the summertime are freezing cold. So thinking about, okay, what can we wear that maybe is a little bit nicer than like a shorts and a t-shirt? Not that the theaters require you to dress up, but also as layers for warmth. Also thinking about amusement parks. So I don't know for sure, this is all very early, if we'll go to Silver Dollar City. We went last time and had a blast, and I would love to go because I love roller coasters. My parents aren't really at a place at this point just because of some back injuries and that kind of stuff. Well, they will go on roller coasters. My nephew will be 3, so I don't know if I don't know, we'll decide. But if you are going to an amusement park, that's something to think about when you're packing. Swimming, the Easter Bunny is bringing a swimsuit for Reese tomorrow as Easter approaches. So we will be having a lot of swimming opportunities. We want to make sure that we have at least 2 swimsuits again, so there can be 1 drying. And then I have on here things to consider lounging. When we go, and typically we will stay in a condo or a house, we have a lot of downtime, and that's kind of the fun of going with the whole family. It's just having those times where we might just like hang out for the night, work on a puzzle, and watch the Game Show Network. So having some clothes available for that. Now, if you've seen my Mexico packing list, you know we don't really pack those clothes because we're either swimming or out to dinner. Branson, we have a lot more lounging time, so that is something to consider. So I have the categories of in the car, so things I need to make sure, obviously it's all going to be in the car with us, but making sure these things are easily accessible. Heather, Reese, Justin, so breaking down by person, sundries, and then I have food, which is something that is kind of unique to this, and then other. So let's go through them. So starting with in the car. So again, these are the things that are easily accessible to us. It's about a 6-hour drive. Is again emergency numbers, and I talked about this in the Mexico list. Just having, it's a little piece of paper, I have it in my wallet, it just has emergency numbers. Heaven forbid something happen, we just know everybody's phone numbers, they're all there, black and white. We don't have to rely on our phones to know those numbers. Laptop for Reese. So a couple of years ago, we got Reese his own Chromebook. That's what they use at the public schools in our city. So he was very well acquainted with them, and he's watching a life hacks video right now on YouTube, because that's what 10-year-olds do. So making sure he has his laptop. Now, there's not a lot necessarily he could do without an internet connection, but there's a couple of things that he can do. So just having that easily accessible to him, that will likely be in his backpack. He'll probably take his backpack with things like that. The Switch, so we do have a Nintendo Switch as a family. Reese plays it by far the most. Justin will occasionally play it as well, but that's another thing that he can play, and that wouldn't require internet, so he can be playing that as we're traveling down the road. Money, so this is left over from the Mexico packing list. You know, obviously we're going to be going places where credit cards are very easily acceptable, but just having some cash on hand, you just never know. A couple years ago now, we ended up going to Colorado as a family and had some car trouble, and we had to have the car towed. And I actually had my checkbook on me, and that was a huge thing. Like, it saved us some money because he didn't really want to take credit cards. And so just having all different, I know checkbook 1992, but just having all different types of currency available is going to be handy. Our phones, obviously, we all three have phones. Reese has a Gab phone. If you want to know more about that, it's a very safe phone. Jordan Page is the one who introduced me to it. I think they're part owners of the company. It's great. So we will all three take our phones and have those in the car with us, easily accessible. Headphones for Reese, because if he's on his laptop or his Switch, we don't want to hear it for 6 hours. A book. I still love an actual open the pages book, and because we're traveling by car and we'll have more space, I'll probably take one of those, so be looking for a book. I do also always have a book on my phone so I can read that, but something for me to do as we're driving. And then a phone charger, so just a phone charger that we can use in the car and keep everything charged as we travel down the road. Okay, for me specifically, so these will be things in the suitcase in the back of the car. Obviously, we have undergarments, you know, always pack for more than you think you're gonna need. Swimsuits, I still need to find another swimsuit. I have one swimsuit that is great for all things pool related. I have one swimsuit that is great for laying by the pool and soaking up the sun, but it's not great for running, jumping, hitting beach balls back and forth. So I need to find another one of that. Cover-ups, because when you're walking, the place we're staying at, we have not stayed at before. Every time we've gone to Branson, we've stayed somewhere different, but they've all had pool facilities. So again, it has an inside and outside pool. There's going to be a walk to it. I don't know how long that walk is going to be, but you know, when you're walking through a neighborhood to get to a pool, just having that cover up on, just helping yourself feel more comfortable. Pajamas, and I always kind of have to pay special attention. You know, sometimes the pajamas that I would just wear here around the house are maybe not the ones that I want. You know, they might have a hole in them or something, and I'm like, it's fine. But when we're with family and we're hanging out and we're having breakfast together, you know, just making sure we got pajamas that are ones we want to wear in front of the whole family. Flip-flops, that's for those pool adventures. Jewelry, I probably won't take much. Again, usually I wear studs, so it's probably going to be a couple different pairs of stud earrings. I wear earrings every day, but nothing too fancy in terms of jewelry. I have 7-day outfits. So what I mean by that is, like, what am I wearing each day? And of course, we'll be checking the weather as we get closer. It's probably going to be hot and humid. It's summer in Missouri. And I'll make a packing video where I show exactly what I wear and what I plan on taking. But yeah, just thinking, okay, we're gonna go to 2 different shows, so I need, you know, again, things to consider. Okay, we're going to shows. If we end up deciding we're going to go to an amusement park, okay, what am I going to wear there? So for an amusement park, I would want to wear something that maybe is a little bit more brightly colored. Definitely want to wear some kind of athletic shoes for that. Definitely want to wear something that would maybe dry a little bit faster, that you could wear on rides as well. Like I just got a new cute dress from Costco. I know, but it was cute. I was there and it called to me. Obviously that's not going to be something you're going to wear to an amusement park. So just thinking about that type of thing, it's a very casual thing, but it wouldn't be for amusement park. So as we get closer and we start to decide what we're going to do, that will inform what kind of outfits I pack for the day. My charger for my watch, and then workout clothes. My sister and I do occasionally work out on vacation together. They'll probably be pretty small. I'm already probably going to take my athletic shoes anyway. That's the biggest part of packing workout clothes. So I probably will pack them. I'm trying to think. I've looked briefly at where we're staying. I don't remember if there's a workout area. If there isn't, I probably won't pack them. But if there is, I'll probably pack them. Okay, moving on to Justin. So again, 7-day outfits. Thinking for him, are we going to go to shows? If so, probably like jeans, just like a little bit maybe of a longer pants so he can stay kind of warm in those theaters. Those theaters, I feel like, are always so cold. Maybe a polo shirt or two. Again, if we're going to go to an amusement park, making sure he has the clothes that would dry quick, protect him from the sun, maybe be easily visible. Swimsuit, swim shirt. If you've watched my packing list for Mexico, I talk all about the importance of those two things. Undergarments, flip-flops. Again, I don't know that Justin has ever gotten in the pool when we've gone to the different places in Branson, but maybe this time he will, or if nothing else, if he walks down with us to the pool area, having that flip-flop option is a great one to have. Socks, and then a hat. I actually have hat ? Just kind of depending if we end up deciding not to go to an amusement park, that might not be something that he decides that he wants, but definitely if we're going to an amusement park, it's great for keeping that sun off of his face. So a hat for that, and that would make him a little bit easier to spot as well. All right, for Reese, we've got undergarments, 7-day outfits, and I do have here one brightly colored. Even if Justin and I end up not wearing, we don't really have a ton of things that are brightly colored for an amusement park. And I read this somewhere years ago regarding airport travel, that when you're traveling with children, putting them in something that's really brightly colored is a great idea so you can spot them a little bit easier. And I have taken that and run with it. So every flight, if you ever see flight or pictures of us on a plane, Reese is wearing something brightly colored. And for amusement parks as well, it's a little bit easier with kids' clothes, but wearing something brightly colored, it just, there's that 3 seconds where you can't spot your kid, and it's a moment of pure panic, or 3 seconds of pure panic, and it feels like 3 hours of pure panic. So if we can just shorten that by a little bit, it's a great thing. Swimsuits and flip-flops. He often likes a swim shirt as well. His glasses, we just actually went and got him new glasses, $300 with insurance. So I have sunglasses on here. When we went to Branson last time, and when I was making this list, I was thinking, knowing we were going to go to the eye doctor, I would purchase some prescription sunglasses for him. I think that that's a great thing if you're going to be out in the sun a lot. But once I saw it was $300 for glasses, I thought, maybe we don't do sunglasses. And he's not a huge fan. He doesn't really like switching them in and out, and then he'd go on an inside ride, and so then he'd want to take his sunglasses off and put his regular glasses on. We didn't get a lot of use out of them. I did think between Branson and Italy and us maybe spending a lot of time traveling in the car over the next year, sunglasses would be good. I don't know. We'll see. We did not order any today, so maybe sunglasses. We'll see. Pajamas for him. Reese is a kid that likes to change to a different pair of pajamas every night. It means a lot of laundry. So we'll see how many pairs. I don't have a certain number. I just have pajamas in general. So we'll see how many we end up taking. And then yes, his phone charger is different than our phone chargers because he doesn't have an iDevice, an Apple device. He has a Gab phone, like I said. And then for all three of us, I also have loungewear, and I just have that on there as just kind of a broad item to place on there, but maybe just some, athletic pants or t-shirts or sweatpants or just things that, again, maybe we've spent the day swimming, we have come back to the house, people have showered, we're waiting for dinner to get started, and it's just something to wear around the house. So when you're traveling with other people, kind of thinking like, oh yeah, like this is what I would normally wear on a Thursday night lounging, but maybe I don't really necessarily want to wear that in front of everyone. So my sundries are very much the same as the Mexico packing list. So if you haven't seen that, I would go back and watch it. I explain them a little bit more, but makeup, conditioner, and shampoo, my Norwex body cloth, eye makeup remover, cotton pads to go with that, my hair dryer, which is annoying because it's huge, but you gotta take it. Just as a quick note, if you are going to go to an amusement park, think about how to wear your hair. I would not wear it like this. This would be great in terms of be off of my face. Two things. One, I would get a sunburn where my part is. That happened last weekend at a football game already. It was super fun. Two, roller coaster, head goes back. This is in the way. I would either recommend, if you have long enough hair, putting it in some kind of top knot, like top knot, or doing some kind of braid or double braid so that when you're on a roller coaster, you can go back easily. None of those hairstyles require a hair dryer, just as a side note. That's just bonus content for y'all. Okay, mousse and hair gel, comb, contacts, contact solution. These are all boring things. Sunscreen, deodorant, hairpins, toothbrushes, and then I actually off to the side I have one, then the number two, and the number three. So as I pack toothbrushes, I cross off like I've got one of them, it's usually mine first. I've got two of them, that's usually Reese's. I've got three of them, that's usually Justin's. Toothpaste, lotion, face cream, and that's part of my double wash system that I do, so that goes with my face wash. And then I do have some kind of like that first aid kind of thing with Aleve. That's our painkiller of choice. I have a first aid kit, so just throwing that in the bag. It's pretty small, but it's got enough band-aids to heal up a scratch of some kind. Imodium, my glasses, Justin's glasses, and ponytail holders. Also on here, and it's in the sundries, it's not really a sundry, is a fan. And I forgot to mention this on the Mexico packing list. I have, and I will show it to you when I actually make the packing videos, because right now it's like in my closet, kind of up high. But I got it on Amazon. It's honestly about this big, and it is a rechargeable with a USB portable fan, and it's very slim. It's truly like only this wide. It fits so well. You can charge it, and then I think it's supposed to last a pretty long time. I have always just, when we take it, plugged it in and just left it plugged in throughout the night. Is it super, super powerful? No. But does it provide that breeze? I am a fan person. I have to sleep with a fan, and it just provides that extra breeze, and it's delightful. So that is on this list as well. Fan. Okay. We're going to end with food because that's my favorite. So on the other part of the list, and this is probably where I should put fan on, phone chargers, just making sure we have those. Again, we're gonna have one in the car so we can be charging as we go, but just having two so we can both charge our phones overnight. A puzzle. So this shows up basically only on the packing list when we're going somewhere with my family. My mom, my sister, and I, and Reese too. We all love a jigsaw puzzle. I just love it. I don't know. I'm 100, I guess, but we have a couple good ones, so I'll just throw one in the car. A lot of times Airbnbs or Verbos, and my dad got this one through Verbo, they'll have one, but it doesn't take that much room, and you can kind of just, work on a little bit here and there. You're waiting for people to take their turns in the showers, and, you work on it for 10 minutes until it's your turn, or you're waiting for dinner and you work on it, or watching Family Feud and we can just kind of be working on it. So it's just kind of, it's like a game, but it's a team game. We're all working together, and there's no set starting and stopping in terms of like People can do it one at a time or the whole group, and it's just awesome. So I love a puzzle. Cards, we are a big card playing family. Along with that, those are the only games I have listed, but we'll probably take maybe a couple other games also. We really like to play games. It can be a little bit tricky. Again, the youngest is 3, the oldest will be 70. So to find a game that all of us can play, like we can all understand the rules and that type of thing, but we're all enjoying it. So we'll see. My beach bag, again, my Mexico packing list, I talk about how much I love my beach bag. That will definitely going back. A slingback bag, and I will show that to you also when I'm actually doing the packing list. I got it the last time we were going to go to Silver Dollar City because I wanted a crossbody something that I could just throw over my shoulder and I didn't have to touch it and it wasn't going to be slipping or I didn't have to worry about it. It wasn't a backpack, it was just something, it didn't have to be huge. So I bought this and I love it. I don't use it a ton, but I've taken it to the zoo multiple times. Like if we're gonna go somewhere where we're gonna be pretty active and doing things and I just need a spot to not carry a whole bunch of stuff. Like I wouldn't use it as a beach bag because my beach bag, I need towels and all of that. Just, I can put a couple of things in there, some sunscreen in there, you know, that type of thing for a full day of adventuring. It's awesome. I love it. So that is added to this list. And then sunglasses will probably take my car, and I have all of my sunglasses in my car, but just making sure that we have Justin's sunglasses as well. Okay, for food. So typically what we've done is my parents take care of breakfast. My dad is a breakfast person. My mom makes a great egg casserole. So they will typically kind of just be in charge of breakfast meals. The first time we went on a big trip where we were going to be staying in a condo, all of us, we had it all planned out, exactly who was bringing what. And we've gotten less and less structured with it. We just kind of have our routine that we've fallen into. So we'll definitely talk about it before we go. But again, we're going to Branson, so there's definitely stores available for like, oh, we don't have anything for dinner tonight. We can make a quick run. So the first thing I have is snacks, just in general. So what that will mean is that probably a week or two before we go, I'll go to Costco. I'll probably buy the big cheese and caramel popcorn mix. It's so great, and it's extra great when my brother-in-law and I are eating at the same time because he really likes the cheese and I really like the caramel. It's awesome. You know, maybe a bag of Doritos, a big bag of Chex Mix, just some things like that. My sister will, hopefully, if she's watching this, she better. She makes a snack mix, and it's like popcorn, and it's like there's like a caramely sauce on it, and there's peanuts and pretzels and M&Ms. It's so good. So we just like to have a lot of snacks like that around. Yeah, just as we're hanging out, we eat snacks. This is not a health and wellness vacation. You will notice that as I go through the rest. This is the time to eat all of the processed food. Now, typically, so my parents take care of breakfast. We all kind of bring some snacks. And then dinners, my sister and I will split. Now, we're actually going for a full week, which is longer than normal. So there's like 6 dinners. We have learned the last night's dinner is just everybody eat everything that's left. So there's really 5 dinners. So I thought, okay, well, typically I take enough for 1. Maybe I should take 2 dinners this time. So I was looking last night at Pinterest at things I've pinned. Do you do that? Do you just pin things and you never look at them again? Yeah, that's me. So things I had pinned, and one of them was a spaghetti pie. Now, often I will take some kind of Italian dish. So I'll take like a baked ziti, or the Pioneer Woman's spaghetti sauce is so good. So I'll take that with just, you know, some spaghetti noodles, and then we'll boil them when we get there. I like the baked ziti. I liked a baked pasta because it's truly just baking it. That's all you have to do when you get there. So I saw a recipe for spaghetti pie on my Pinterest, and I thought, maybe I could take that. So spaghetti pie, and then along with that, I'll take some garlic bread, and probably I should add this like a bag of like Caesar salad. Again, Costco, I think it's like $7. Theirs is so good. I really like theirs. Then I always don't know what to take. I thought about taking runzas. If you don't know what a runza is, I am so sorry for you. What a life you have led. It's a German recipe. We have a lot of Germans from Russia. That's what I am. I'm a German from Russia. I mean, you know, like my great-grandparents came here from Russia like over 100 years ago. But We actually have a restaurant here called Renza. It's a fast food. So Renza, just really quickly, it's basically a bread dough filled with ground beef and cabbage. And it's amazing. We sell them at our football games here. Renza also has the best fries here, unrelated. Not to toot my own horn, I have a really good Renza recipe. It's a ton of work, but they are really good. And I have like just frozen them, and then we just like reheat them in the oven. So I thought, well, maybe I could make a bunch of Renzas. There's a lot of just different components. Maybe I could make a bunch of them though and freeze them, and then we could just cook them one night. I don't know. There's also a Renza casserole. It's a big hit in like the small church cookbooks. If you don't have a church cookbook, you need to get one, whether you believe in Jesus or not, because church cookbooks are where the best recipes are. And I haven't made it ever. I've eaten it. It's delicious, but it's way easier than Renza's, because basically you make the ground beef cabbage mixture, and then you put, I think it's like crescent roll topping on it, and then you just bake it, so you get like a piece of it rather than like a Renza. But I don't think I can make that ahead of time. And that's what I like to do, because typically we come back and we're ready to eat. Like, we're kind of hungry, and I don't want to be doing a lot of prep. So Renza is one option. Another option I have on here are fajitas. So I do watch J. Morrell Stewart, Large Family Table, and I know she's like the queen of freezer cooking. So I was looking at her recipes last night, and I did see one for beef fajitas, where basically you put all the beef and all of the seasonings in a bag, and then you can just freeze the bag. We schlep it down to Branson with us, and then put it in a crock pot all day. Here's where it gets tricky. Two things, actually. One, I don't know that they have a crock pot. I don't want to count on them having a crock pot, and I really don't want to schlep my crock pot. I do have a big one, but then I was thinking, well, we could just use that as a packing vessel for other things. We could, so maybe, I don't know. Two, fajitas, like if I do a baked pasta, I have to take maybe bread and a salad, and the meal's done. But fajitas, now you got to take tortillas, maybe some tomatoes, some sour cream, maybe some guacamole, you need some cheese, then you got side dishes, so I put like rice down like that. There's a lot of accoutrement for fajitas. I love fajitas, and I think they'd be a hit. That's the other thing, is I have to think, what is something that everybody likes? Like, my husband doesn't like cheese. Reese doesn't really like meat. I'm not a huge meat person either. My sister will typically bring tacos with all the fixins. So that's the other thing. Like, are fajitas and tacos too close to each other? I don't know. Here, long story short. Nope, short story long. That's how you say it. Because this is a really short story that I took a really long time to tell you. What are your suggestions? Something that I could maybe freeze. No, something that I could definitely freeze, schlep down to Branson, and then it's not too much work to get the finished meal prep on the table. So, ideas for that. Okay, so that's dinners. Again, we found out about this like 3 days ago, so there's a lot that's still to be determined. And then I have on here, and I always take these things, we kind of all do, sandwich meat, sandwich cheese, bread, and buns. So I typically will go get like turkey and salami, because those are my family's favorite meats. Everybody will pick up some lunch meat. Last time we went, I also made like a chicken salad and a tuna salad. Typically we have sandwiches for lunch. That's where this is going. Bread, again, not to my own horn. I have an Amish white bread recipe that I've made for years and years and years and years, and it's a big hit and everyone loves it. In fact, that's usually what I am asked to bring to things. So I will take a ton of bread. My recipe makes 2 loaves. Typically I'll take like 6 loaves of bread. If you've got 9 people eating sandwiches for lunch, that goes pretty quickly. And then if there's any extra, my dad can use that to make French toast or something like that. So I would probably take a lot of bread. And my recipe does freeze really well too. So I'll start maybe a week or so before, because we don't have a big freezer. I'm just putting all these other things in there. But I'll start a week or 2 before, maybe I'll make 2 loaves one day, like a Saturday, and then 2 loaves the next day. And then I can just pull them out and it thaws pretty nicely. So bread, and then buns, because I actually prefer to have a sandwich on a bun. So those types of things. Soda is absolutely mandatory. I don't think it's an addiction to soda or to caffeine anymore, but I definitely benefit from that, and I definitely benefit when I am very busy on a vacation with children and trying to keep that energy level up. So taking soda, and then chips. I just have chips on there, and those are all kind of like lunch type things. Also my list, and it's under food even though you can't eat it, we take a lot of paper plates. I know it's not great for the environment, but it's like one time a year, and yes, places we go have dishwashers, but when there's 9 of us, oftentimes they'll have like 6 to 8, maybe 10 of something. So that means every single time we eat, we would have to be washing dishes. Typically we'll use real dishes for dinner, but the rest of the meals, let's just use paper. Same for cups. I have a bunch of extra cups from a party that we had for my mom a couple weeks ago, so I have that on my list. Silverware, just things to make it a little bit easier. It is a vacation after all. And I paused there because there's that famous meme about, if you go on a vacation with your kids, is it really a vacation? Because it is a lot more work. But if we can do some things like take some paper products to make it a little bit less work and more fun, that would be great. One last thing with the food. I forgot this. I have had a lot of caffeine this morning, you may have noticed. A couple years ago, Justin was like, you work so hard and you do all of this work to prep all of this food, and then we have to take the cooler, and does everything fit and all of this? And he goes, why don't we just order food? On the night that we're in charge of dinner, let's just order pizza. And so we've done that a couple times, and it's so nice, and it's probably not cost effective, but it's honestly not that much. Last time we went to Branson, oh yes, because last summer we went to Lake Okoboji, and I didn't order pizza, and it was fine. But we went to Branson about a year and a half ago, and it was when Domino's was having a really good deal. So we just ordered like a ton of pizza and chicken and cheesy bread and that kind of thing. And everybody ate. They were so full. We had extras. It was great. And it was literally 5 minutes of work for me to type it in on my phone and put the order in versus any kind of prep. We didn't have to even take a cooler. Like, it was a lot nicer. So we might do that one night as well. All of that to be determined. I would love to know your comments. I would love to know so many things. I always want all of your comments. What do you like to do in Branson? Again, my favorite things are Silver Dollar City. We also did Top of the Rock, I think is what it's called. It's a fancy golf course. We didn't golf, but you can rent golf carts, and then they have like a golf cart path that you drive down. That was really fun. And I did like the magic show that we went to. The Chinese acrobats got a little bit long. So what do you like to do in Branson? I'm sure that there's been some changes in the shows and so forth, if there's any shows that you really like. Also, what do you recommend in terms of food? Something that can be hopefully frozen beforehand and takes 15, maybe 20 minutes of hands-on time once we get to the place. All right, that's it for this video. We have a new adventure to announce. So there you go, Branson, Missouri. Add it to our list. Our calendar is really filling up. Make sure to subscribe and hit that little bell so that you can see all of the videos that are coming out, because it's kind of slow right now, but we're about to hit it. We're about to hit it hard. We're getting close to summertime, and it is going to be busy. So again, be sure to like if you liked this video, subscribe and hit the bell so you can see future videos, and please comment, answer all of my questions that I have for you. I would love that.